What's up, y'all? This is Mr. Shepherd, aka Brother Williams, and I'm here proving myself to the nation. And I'm no longer doing this for the sake of the community. I'm doing this for the sake of the global community. Now, let's talk about this topic. We're going to talk about the biggest threat to Black people, right? It's not the government, it's not white people, it's not Black people. It's God, right? It's not Satan either, it's God, right? The reason why we are at the bottom is because of God. The reason why every time we try to progress, we try to liberate ourselves and fail is because of God, right? And why is God doing this to us? This all goes back to the Bible. If you believe in the Bible, right? This all goes back to the Bible in the Old Testament and who we are, right? Deuteronomy 28. And also Leviticus, right? Um, when you look at the laws that was given to Moses to us, we went under or into a covenant with the Most High. And he told us if we follow, right, if we follow his ways, we will be blessed. But if not, we will be cursed, right? We will be subdued by our enemies. And the thing about this is that God will use our enemies to subdue us. So therefore, God himself is fighting against us. And that's why when you look at um, the leaders, right? Leaders like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, even Tupac, all of them eventually died, right? All of them eventually was either killed or exiled. Every movement that was actually by Black people for Black people eventually was stopped. All right. When we talk about the slave rebellions, when we talk about Garveyism, when we talk about the Nation of Islam under Malcolm X, the Black Panther movement, all that was pretty much shut down. Right. The only movement that sustained was civil rights, but that really wasn't by Black people for Black people. Right. That was really orchestrated by the elites and the Freemasons. That had an ulterior long term plan attached to it. And we see the situation going on with Black people as a result. As a result of that, Black people overall, in terms of um, economic wise, morally wise, right, are doing worse, right? The only thing that has gotten better is that Black people they're not being brutalized the same way. But for the most part, everything else is pretty much the same, right? The laws have changed, but the practices are more or less the same, right? Except that we're just not getting brutalized, on a day to day basis in terms of dealing with regular people just because of our race, for the most part, right? But when you look at all these great movements, these great leaders, right? We're just waiting for another movement. We're just waiting for another leader, but God is not having it, right? We have to do things His way in order to truly be liberated, right? And the truth is, that's not going to happen until Yahweh Shai, Jesus Christ, returns again to restore the nation of Israel, right? That's when He's going to clean up this world. He's going to pretty much defeat the enemies here, right? He's going to uh, destroy all those who oppose him. So really, we have to get right with him. But all these great leaders like Tupac, Malcolm X, that's opposite. That's in opposition towards God. He's not having it, right? Anybody that has the ability to really influence so-called Black people, right, for the sake of Black empowerment, is going to be shut down. Now, just by talking like that or being a so-called leader, it's not going to get you touched, right? Because you might be a leader, you might have fame, but people ain't taking you serious. Like somebody like Umar Johnson, everybody knows him. He said some good stuff, but nobody's really taking him serious because he's not really a threat. Why is he not a threat? Because the Black men don't respect him, right? Let's talk about somebody like Kevin Samuels. I think it was a possibility that something may have happened to him because you know why? He had the ability to influence the man, the black man. That's the key, right? Anybody who has the ability to influence black men to action is a threat to the system, because the power in a community, in any culture, race of people, lies on the man, right? It's based on the man, right? Because the men are the leaders of the community. So when you have that power, right, to influence man to action, positive action, right, in the black community, yeah, you're going to become a threat, right? And if you're not doing it God's way, God will allow you to be taken out, right? Because any black empowerment movement is actually in opposition to what God wants. The only movement we should have is movement towards Him and His Son. That's the only thing a black person should be trying to do, and black people trying to do. Everything else will continue to fail. That's why O'Shea Duke Jackson will fail in Africa, right? Because he's pushing people towards like this black nation, this self-determined black nation that's by black people for black people. But God will not allow that to happen. It's a spiritual thing. Now, if he was pushing people towards the Lord, it can work, right? But the best he'll be able to do out there is just create like an elite circle of blacks and Africans, right? But the whole nation itself is not going to change unless the powers that be decide to change it. That is it, right? So that's what I want to leave y'all with. It's worthless, right? Trying to bring black people together and unify, right? But leaving God out of it, it's not going to work, folks. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to work. God's going to stop you. All right, God will continue to be in opposition to black people and using different entities to stop us every time. You know why? Because black people are a great people and we have the ability to influence the world, right? And if we have enough things going for us, we can literally influence the world to worship us. God is not having it, right? God Himself came down to stop the people, right, who at one point spoke the same language, even though they came from different areas, who were building the Tower of Babel, right, under King Nimrod. Right, under him, they were building the tower and they were trying to build it up to the heavens to avoid the flood, right? That's what they're trying to do. And God said, if we let these people build this tower, it will be nothing that they can't do working together as one. So we have to confuse them by having all these different people from different areas speaking different languages, right? Because God understands that people have a greatness that they don't even know when they come together. So if black people come together and work together, we're going to become so powerful, right? And if we're not doing it His way, we're just going to have people worshiping us, right? Think about Tupac. If Tupac would have became what he could have been, people just would have been worshiping Tupac. God can't have that, man. Right? God can have people worshiping no leader, or God can have people worshiping so-called black people. The worship only belongs to Him. So the only movement that's going to work is a movement where you are trying to push people towards Him and His Son, and that's it. All right. So if you like this video, please share it, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please do that. All right, because people need to hear this. If you disagree with what I'm saying, just leave a constructive critique in the comment section. Otherwise, don't say nothing. All right, I don't want no disrespect. This is some serious stuff I'm talking about. But otherwise, this is Mr. Shepherd, aka Brother Williams, and I'm here proving myself to the nation.